There it is. Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another live stream. Another live stream in which I have been confronted by a hot take from DJ. What is your hot take, my G? Excuse me whilst I apply the coffee. Oh no. Oh, tasty. Tasty water. I appear to have lost some dreamies. And if there's one thing I can't stand, it's losing dreamies. One moment, please, whilst I look for said dreamies. Oh! Aha! Let's have a look. Welcome, scent of the day. Welcome, Pradeep. Fernando Milan. Andy. You are the best. Dusan. Bob. Dev. Tripler. Phil. Stephen Tampton. P.O. Benson. Spaced Out. Klein on his old. MJ. The Love Beneath. How are we? I am fantastic and I am doing really well. I need to get my hydration in order. See how we are. So how are we? Have you been busy without me? What's been going on? Have you been having fun? Why is my Aberdeen lavender on the piss? Dura Rose has tyres. That's Creed. Lots of moving fingers. Stephen Tampton, for your information, she sent the Metallica today. When I get it, I'll label it for you and send. I'll email you for deets. Okay. You better spray some Michelin to avoid this. Scent of the Day Jubilation 25, says Stephen. Nice. Have you tried Preferred Stock or Gravity by Cody? No, but I have heard. I have heard that Preferred Stock is rather good. Heidi hi. Stephs. Klein says get in Royal Mayfair today. Got in Royal Mayfair today. Blind buy as always. Like it? Yes. Dev is saying that there's only 7 more months until he gets Samsara. DJ, what is your hot take? Tell us. We are all ears. Oh. My dear AD said they had to send back all bottles of leather root and Quaker Nage. Why? A new perfume to Cedar is dog shit, says DJ. Total tick box scent. Something out of a pink parfum de Marley bottle. And as we know, parfum de Marley, like Xerjoff, are shit. Scent of the day, Moschino Pour Homme. Second time after 3 months. More impressed this time. Looks like they are permanently discontinued. Gone like tears in rain. Have you smelled any Affinessence, Rich? Yes, I've smelled all of them. I got the sample set. Shite. Wildly overpriced. Wildly. Scandalously overpriced. I mean, don't get us wrong, the smell's like nice. But not 300 odd quid a bottle nice. Bosvaldo, Sabez, Frank. Welcome, Frank. I don't know, they're quite nice, I reckon, says Dev. Pulp Ephemo, welcome to you. Bon appetit, Rich. I've eaten them all now. Sorry about that. Pradeep has a wrench. My favourite live streamer, says Bosvaldo. Who's that? Is that me? Why, thank you. DJ says, I turned down a Quaker Nage. Tootsmo, here we are. Too sweet. Ah! You could have just held on to it for a couple of years and sold it for a fucking massive profit. Award-winning live streamer. That's right, that's me. Live streamer of the year. Nobody was expecting that. But my G's came out in force. It's you! You! Do. No, I'm not shelling for Soldier Boy. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Is there nothing you won't say? Do you know what I mean? Where do you draw the line? The answer would be non-pulling, says DJ. Aha! I bought a Dusita. I don't know if I told you this. I've actually been buying quite a few things recently. I've been a naughty man. A naughty duck. They're 50ml bottles now, Rich, which are closer to what Les and Dimmadabla charges. Yikes. They're not as good as Les and Dimmadabla, though. Like, anywhere near as good. Lovely Timbuktu in the right corner. I mean, it's Timbuktu in the right corner, but whether it's lovely or not's another matter. Today, my scent of the day was this. Music for a while. DJ has a few things lined up with a heh. Talk, it's you, 84. Yes, that's right, Pradeep and DJ. That's why you have wrenches, you know me so well. I have bought Monterey. I found a bottle on Parfumo. What a scent. It is what Udis Bahan by Dior used to or wants to be. You know? So, hello Rachel. So your video on your top women's perfume you own, was that me? Chanel exclusives now jumped up in Europe, 200ml, now €380 instead of 350. Yeah, they've gone up 50 in this country as well. 350 quid for a 200ml. I remember when they were 270 and before that 250. Oh, good God. I can't take Dior seriously anymore. Total clown brand, says Spaced Out. Yes. Yes, it's true. And they're selling harder than ever as well. Like, the quality's gone down and their sales associates are giving it the fucking biggin like you wouldn't believe. Creed are starting to go that way as well. It's fucking outrageous. As the products get worse, the sales care gets worse. Zorro pour on. Might wear that tomorrow. I just go in now to talk to a couple of people who I like in the fucking fragrance departments. Go out for something to do, not to fucking actually smell the perfumes. Pradeep says, I ordered the 3-piece Dusita sample set with Monterey. Yes, I've got that. It's over here. I've been trying them on skin. You will get my final impressions probably tomorrow. Actually, I might wait for my perfume to arrive. And then I'll... This is not the 3-piece sample set. What the hell am I doing? Where is the 3-piece sample set? Where is it? That's not it either. Oh dear, friends. Aha, there it is. I needn't have moved all the way over here. Oh, damn, this floor is uneven. This one, the collection signature. I've got a hot take for it. DJ put this idea in my mind, and the more I think about it, the more I think it's true. Prasanna is not a perfumer. She's a Roger Dove. I think. I don't think she makes her own perfumes. I think she commissions them. Frank says, I am sad to admit that the difference between my old and new Timbuktu are slightly significant enough for me to strongly prefer the old bottles. I said the opposite on a previous stream. New one, not as enjoyable. Oh dear. Pulling the strings, the scent of the day is Le Leon. I will order a sample set by Panadora. They just won an award in Milan. I wouldn't care much about the awards being given out at Essence. Dior has increased prices yet again 5 times in about a year, every 3 months or so. There are not 15 months in a year, Pradeep. Chanel drives me nuts, says Frank. If you like Oud Ispahan, which I don't, try 7 Moons from Blend Oud. Amazing. Years later, it still makes the magic when I smell it. Well, I like Monterey. I like the idea of Oud Ispahan. I've now got 3 Ouds. I've got Oud Palau. I've got Oud. I've got the Moon. And I've got the Night even. Jesus Christ. And so I've got Oud Palau. I've got the Night. And now I've got Monterey. And that's me done with the old Oud. Swedish company, so it will not take long to arrive, says Bosweldo. Phil Stevens says, it is what it is. It's been a boring, tired Monday, says Bosweldo. I've had quite a nice day. Paolo, welcome. I wish I could have went to Milan this year, says DJ. Do you really, though? Bosweldo, let's go to Italy after this summer. Frank says, Sabez, do you like Oud Palau? That's a good Ispahan adjacent. Yes. I would advise anybody to buy Oud Palau over what's it called? Ramsey, welcome. Tiptique is really churning them out. These brands raise prices regardless of inflation. Yes, like I always say, if you are going to buy it, if you are going to buy something, then buy it now. And I've been saying this for a long time. The best time to buy something is now, because the prices never go down at retail. They only go up. So if you're going to buy something, buy Chanel. If you're going to buy something, buy Dior. If you're going to buy something, buy Hermes. If you're going to buy... A bit harsh on Hermes because they're not as egregious as the other ones. If you're going to buy something, buy now. Dior Homme 2005 smells how Margot Robbie looks. My decant arrived and I can't believe how beautiful it is. She is literally a Barbie girl. Literally. What is the Diptyque Le Papier? Well, it's funny you ask. Oh, Papier. Lo Papier. It literally smells like rice. Boiled rice, of which I have had tonight. I have partaken of boiled rice tonight with some teriyaki, and I am regretting that. I regretted that teriyaki as I was eating it. It was very nice, but that is going to cause me problems. My guts are not up for shit like that anymore. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. I'd have no problem with price increases if the quality improved or at least remained the same, but this shit is insulting, getting ripped off by business. Yes, Stuck. Your number one was Chanel Clear de Russie. Damn, I want a bottle. That bottle cost me a lot of money, but what a perfume. I was suspicious when she struggled to describe and recall notes to Sebastian, says Pradeep. Who? Who were you suspicious of? That's the word on the street regarding Tusita, says Frank. Yeah. Funny story, the fragrance gal in this niche store in Israel considered giving me a job in their store because they was looking for guys who know their stuff. I declined because the store is too far from me. Osvaldo says, Dusan, told you Panadora had to be good. Ramton is thrilled with all their fragrances so far. Do you not find that his delivery is a little bit on point? It's a little bit too good. Like, I don't know if he's worked in marketing. I don't know if he has worked like as a professional communications thing, but his delivery, his sort of his presentation to camera when he speaks about fragrances is polished to such a degree that it's like, I mean, I don't deny he's an elegant man and that he knows his stuff. I don't deny that whatsoever. I'm just saying, when he talks about fragrances, it feels like the lines are rehearsed. Not only are they rehearsed, they're pre-planned and they're very, very, very. They're very, very, very kind of on point if you were a brand and wanting to say so. It sounds like something a brand would say about themselves is basically what I'm saying. You know? I don't have anything against him. I should also say that, you know? I would subscribe to him, actually. It's just a question worth asking. That's because I'm a full-time student. Evening, Andrej. Arquiste Indigo Smoke is your scent of the evening. Necessarily, Mitch. I'm looking forward to the Mas Milano Antoine Lee notes. Look up my alley, says DJ. Hello, Arnold. You are wearing Comme des Garçons 2-man. Loving this. Anyone know if it's been reformulated recently? Ramsey, welcome. You don't care, but I don't care about you not caring, Mitch. Lol, sorry. Oh. Ram, my scent of the night is the old Givenchy gentleman, still as young as ever, though. If you want Quillaroosie, just buy it. It's never getting cheaper. It's such a treat to wear. Mine's like a 1980s bottle. Excuse me whilst I itch. Papier, any thoughts? Smells like boiled rice. Santal Royale is my favourite oud rose. Is it really? Is it though? Should it be? Not for me. I had it and I sold it. Baby, baby, why can't we just stay together? It's very clean. There's this, papier. Low papier. And then the fucking dirty grade boiled rice note comes in. And it is a boiled rice note. Carl, what's happening? Modern oud palau or older formulation? I think they're both the same. Scent of the day is Hugo Jeans. My scent of the night is Givenchy Gentleman from 74. I'm so tired of the same old, same old. Well, you've got the fucking flavouring houses to thank for that, I think. That's what the whole cartel thing's about, I believe. It would explain why everything smells the same now. Santal Royale is strong stuff, it certainly is. I'm so tired of the same old, same old. They're still printing money, inflating at the same time. This will destroy all. Bob and bailing out their friends. Boiled rice, says Frank. A couple of months since the last purchase. Now I have 5 wishes and 1 money. Unutimam, Africa Oliphant, Escada Magnetism. What about Adam and Mitra Parfumia? Ode the Isle. Enough smokiness. I mainly got the usual suspects. So much focus, so hype focused on that wasn't harsh or scratchy. But yeah, not great in my opinion. But some people would like it. Sweet Swiss wankers facilitated Credit Suisse UBS merger and are now investigating. Well, Rampton knows his stuff. Rampton looks like a fancy Rasputin, says Dusan. The Parfum d'Empire guy has a new scent for olfactive studios. Can't wait to try it as well. Marc-Antoine Corticiato. Ali 2 unique for you? Hello, Ali 2 unique for me. How are you? Welcome. Also, do not believe I have seen you before, but welcome. We are a friendly crowd. Can't wait for my 2010 Tuscan leather decant to arrive. Hope it smells like petrol and smoke rather than weak raspberry water. But you don't think an award in Milan carries any weight, right? So, if it's come from Essence, which is a trade show, right, which is where all the people from YouTube and Instagram go to get their free bottles and make connections and get on the PR lists, right? Do I have any faith in those awards? No. For reasons previously stated. I was talking to somebody who works in the fucking business today, and they told me that Ganymede is the new Aventus. It is apparently fucking not just walking out the store, it's running out the store at pace. Past the scent of a fucking generation. Mark Buxton has a new scent on the way. You haven't tried the Malqueer? I have tried the Malqueer, I just don't like it. The most important award is the pear award, says DJ. Santal Royale is fun in a bottle, perfect for a winter night. I think he looks like a young Nicolas Cage with long hair. Am I the only one that sees that? Possibly. Hello, Jonathan. If you want something new in the current market, you have to go off the beaten path, says DJ. Andrej says, yes, DJ, my initial impression feels the same. Seems to have a noticeable amount of woody and vanillic materials in it. I'm starting to notice a slight snuffed out candle note now and some aldehyde. I like the pear shape, says Frank. Kitchi K, hello. No, that's the female shaped pear. Hello, Rush. Was out having lunch with Manny David. Well, we are mixing in high circles. What have I missed? Nothing much. Just about 26 minutes of me talking wet. Literally. I'm loving this hydration. If you'll excuse me whilst I. Corticiato. Chicharron. I can't remember the name, so I call it the Pear Award. Oh, but you can remember that name. Pigskin Yummy. That's horrible. I don't think indigo smoke is bad, though. If this was a designer release, I'd be pleased. It feels like it could be a flank at the Zangief. Fucking Zangief. I'm going back to Street Fighter there. Zadig and Voltaire, this is him. I thought that was a good designer fragrance, certainly in the context of other designer fragrances. Fried rice or boiled rice, white rice or brown rice, why rice? What would white smell like if it was a note? Pretty much this low papier. It's very white. It's very white. That's a very good way of putting it. You know, people get that synesthesia where they smell colours and shit like that. You do that when you're on hallucinogens as well. You smell colours, you see fucking sounds and fucking all that kind of shit. Apparently. Allegedly. The Pear Award is blank sniffing. Love Oud Ispahan. Sparkles. Rich, stop cranking on it so much. It's shit. Bosvaldo, I don't think this was that show. Alex was there and this apparently took place at the end of the show. Yeah, it was Essence. It was Essence. Ganymede Extra, what's that about? Too much. Ganymede was divisive when it came out. Guess people have entered the echo chamber. Yes, the echo chamber will be seeing you now. Dusan, Rich tells me I need to sort out Gentleman's Cologne. Yes, you do. The vintage Gentleman is very strong. No, Gentleman's Cologne by Amouage, the original gold man. No matter what area in Fragcom, most people only follow the hype sense. Steamed rice has a distinct smell, pandan and fragrant, and not stuff their own exploration. Agreed, Dusan. Rose is grown in Ispahan. I know. It's Fahan. Zadrini Volta. Also sampling a bit of Great Britain. Zangief Art and Olfaction Award. The Art and Olfaction Award, Xanthief. I wonder what this new diptyque smells like. Frank says, I like Ganymede. Quite weird though. Smells different facets many times. Spectrum from Millésime Imperial to curry. You treat some food like perfumes, get it in and regret later. God. Opsis was pretty bad in my opinion, says DJ. Oud Ispahan is in my top 5 Dior. I love it, says Spaced Out. Ali too unique for you, says scent of the day is Girl on Taylor Taj, but with freaking silver cap. Got a wrong bottle, brown box with gold on. So mad. Mitch, I came from Bram's channel. Welcome. Still doesn't mean Panadora fragrances are not good. Enjoyed dry down of my Dior Oud Rosewood sample. Sweet. I'm not much into sweet fragrances. Some sweetness. I bought Ganymede because of this stream. You guys kept mentioning it last year. Very, very very, very interesting in the context of most niche fragrances these days. Viewership's all over the place. It was 63 before, now it's fucking 34. The hell's going on? I think YouTube's having now it's 41. What the hell? YouTube's all over the shop. Ganymede was the brother of King Priam of Troy, who was abducted by Eos, goddess of dawn, because he was so beautiful. Damas Rose, the founder of Panadora, is Syrian. Rachel, my female colleagues asked me about Gallimard Discovery Set, and I told them it's for you. Great Britain costs more than the girl on it copies. Jonathan, I really like Roger's Great Britain. I have a 10mm. His Russian leather. Well, it's not his, it's somebody's Russian leather. Not many people know that, as Michael Caine would say, as Bosvaldo, he was ravaged. Great Britain. Like the stream, friends, says Rachel. Thanks. If you are into liking streams and such, and wish to do that kind of thing, please don't let me stop you. My favourite psychotropic is Purple Elephant, says Phil. Carnival Tribute. Your scent of the day is Narciso for him, EDP. EDP. It's a girl on. Mugwe Ape. What was it? Gue Apen, sorry. Guetapen. Welcome, Eugene. Hey, buddy. I like the stream for foe. Let me look it up, DJ, says Frank. An expensive Gone Girl on, but still cheaper than Great Britain. Foe, yeah. What's the most masculine women's girl on? Is it Samsara? Sorry, that was just my fucking chair creaking. Is it Samsara, the most masculine feminine? I don't know that a lot of girl-ons were necessarily targeted towards women. They don't have many poor homs. You know what I mean? They don't have many, like, for men and all of that sort of thing. I think it was always just kind of, like, unofficially the way that it was. There were just the most women were there. Women were the overwhelming majority of their customers. Because vetiver, whilst it has become a masculine staple, right, was never for him. I've got a bottle that goes back to the fucking 70s, I think. And it doesn't say for him on it, you know? So I think it was just sort of the thing. Fernando Cambon, hello. Saturday Voyageur pour homme Jean Partout. Nice. And Russia's wearing a girl on as well. Abed Rouge. See, I just think it was implied that, like, the style of the perfume, I mean, we say this, but it was never said at the time. It just sort of like, we're looking back over it now and assigning that sort of thing to it. Like Habit Rouge. I do not care for Habit Rouge. And yet, almost everybody I know who wears it is a man. Talk to you later, Bosvaldo. Hello, Germs. Pat Lester, welcome to you. Yes, please tell us your scent of the day. There was a vetiver Porel, short-lived, says Xuro. Yeah, and it came out like 40, 50 years after the original. Like Habit Rouge. I don't know. I need to I find I would have to think and percolate these kind of thoughts into some kind of coherent sentences. As you can tell, I'm struggling with that concept at the minute. The kind of, I think it was just implied that fragrance was for women until like the 60s. You know what I mean? And then all of these companies must have just thought to themselves, fuck, we've just kind of disenfranchised half the population. We could be making twice as much money. You know? And now it's swung almost like entirely the other way. If you are to take the YouTube reviewing community or the online reviewing community seriously, there are very few people who review fragrances solely for women. There are very, very few people who review women's fragrances. There are a few with notable exceptions. Thomas from Ouch 110, Smurfy Girly. These are just the ones I know, by the way. Eugene's probably one of the biggest reviewers of fragrances that are like traditionally marketed towards women. You know what I mean? But it's like we could do with more. So it's like it's sort of swung the other way. Perfume was an almost exclusively female thing in the 20th century, in the mid 20th century, and it was huge until like the 70s, and then it just, the male side of it just grew and grew and grew, and then you got into the 90s with the birth of the metrosexual man, and it's just never stopped. It has just never stopped. Until the companies realised that men were considerably more vain than women, secretly. I'm thinking maybe Roger Great Britain, like Guetta Appens, is linked. Hola, Pat Lester. I have still to try Ganymede. Not me, Rich Dusan is going. Oh, see you later, Dusan. Yeah, I like Great Britain, but I've never been moved to add it. Not at them prices. Sycamore is for women as per the marketing. Strange. Jean-Paul Guerlain was condemned for Habit Rouge. The Guerlain family found it too femme. I struggle with the lemon, aldehydes, and then the powder. It's got this sharp astringency and then the powder. I appreciate the technical aspect of going from one to the other and the contrast and stuff like that, but it's almost everything I hate all in one fragrance. Richie G fucking loves it. Excuse me whilst I sneeze in your ears. Excuse me. Aftermarket prices on Porel are crazy, says DJ. What's all the fuss with Ganymede? It's massive. It's massive, futuristic, metallic. That's the way perfumes are going now. They're going futuristic. You know, Serge Lutens 20 and 30 years before the fact. Trendsetter. So I am a man, says Fernando, but I love Maggie Noir Lancome. I've got a bottle of that. I've got a lot of female fragrances that I love. Most of them are ambers. I must say, I've noticed that. There's a leather or two. Oh, I've got some perfume coming in soon. I'll be telling you what I've been buying. I bought a perfume by mistake yesterday. I didn't even realise I'd fucking bought it. Last week he shits on beef and tomatoes. This week teriyaki. Teriyaki was very nice though. I just got a feeling it's going to make us ill. Very oily, very fatty. You know, that shit rifts. Like, you would be surprised at the size of his. Frank, I couldn't agree more. Vetiver Porel is amazing. I wouldn't mind smelling that. Sumptuous, whatever that means, says Bosvaldo. It's a good word, though. They had to call perfume targeted to men in the Americas cologne to get them to buy it, says DJ. Yes, but they also had to do it. They had to call it aftershave in this country to get us to buy it. You know. That's right, it's based, I meant for Vetiver. Rush says, I have never cared as to which gender a fragrance is being marketed to. If I like it and I don't want to wear it, I'll wear it. I don't get hung up by marketing. That's exactly the best way to be. It just so happens to be that my taste is geared more toward... it's vintage masculine stuff, you know, stuff that smells vintagely and masculine-y. Oh, I'll tell you what I'm absolutely loving at the minute, and it's Prada Amber Pour Homme, a fragrance by two women, concocted or dreamed up, thought up, made. I'm thinking of the right word here and I'm floundering. It was developed by two women for men, and it's brilliant. And I've always loved it, but at the minute, I'm absolutely loving it. Prada Amber Pour Homme, what a fragrance. This for men, Lauder for men, brilliant. Another fragrance from a woman's company for men. Iquitos, which was submitted for a woman's brief, but was picked up by Alain Delon, who said it smelled amazing, and he was right. Oh, that's a traditionally feminine, like sheepra, like I'm not big into those floral sheepra things, you know. But fuck me, that's brilliant. I like a lot of Serge Lutton stuff, which is completely unisex. You know, he very rarely deviates from having one foot on either side of the line. I beg your pardon, Serge Lutton. Brilliant fragrance. Brilliant house, I beg your pardon. You know? I wear anything I like. Yeah, I mean, I wear opium. You know? Secret de Parfum is one of the fucking... the opium Secret de Parfum is an amazing find. You know? I would never discriminate based on a name. Parfum Creed for kids. Not sure how I feel about that. Smells nice. Smelled it. But I don't know if you should be putting perfume on the kids. Boz, it's different. It has prism effects like Ambroxan, Baccarat Rouge 540, Fruity Rose Metallic Immortelle. It's all over the place. Organised chaos, but works for a lot of people. Eugene unboxing Twilly for 10 minutes was a favourite video of mine, says Pradeep. Just no sugar lace gourmand shit, however. Desperate frag heads, lol, a soap opera, says Buzzvaldo. I can see that. It's funny how some of the most popular men's scents are so sweet. It's strange how tastes just swivel, how themes and trends just 180 and everywhere in between. While they refuse to wear stuff like Bandy. Impossible find Vetiver Porel, says Jonathan. Antonio Hobson, welcome to you. Tripler, after Mouchoir de Monsieur, men were scared for half a century. By the way, I like it. So I'm a man, but I love Margie Noir Lancome Vintage. Very rich and complex. I've got a bottle of that, Fernando. It's down at my feet, though, so I'm not going to be leaning down there. Futuristic, not sure if I would like that. Yeah, I don't like it. Man, Jicky is nice. Sold my bottle, too powdery. Me too, DJ, but my, the dry down is intense, says Tripler. Of Bandy. What's the deal with beef and tomatoes? Oh, Richie J took us for the worst meal I've ever had. I couldn't eat it. It's fucking vile. I prefer the X-Tray. The EDP is too screechy, says DJ. I need to find one. Rush says, I guess dandy would be the polite way of explaining me. You are a dandy. I can imagine you with a cane and a monocle and a, what are they called, top hat? I should know that, I'm British. Are they trying to convey Japanese rice paper screens, says Bob. Bob, I think you might be behind on the stream, mate. Fickle fascination flickering. Floral sheepra. Yes, Lauder for men. Agreed. Love. For me, 31 Rukam Bomb was never feminine. It's really peppery and woody. I'm just waiting for the first dragon scent. How would that smell? Fiery and scaly. I'm quite specific when it comes to vintages. You tried the new Surge yet, Rich? No, but I'd love to. Perseus was waxing lyrical about it, apparently. Back to Fahrenheit, we need a correction. Did feel like a high watermark, didn't it, Fahrenheit? Bosvaldo says, I didn't like Fragmental's Creed video. The final message was too pro-Creed greed. I'm finished with Creed, like. I mean, there's just no fucking way. What's going on here? I'm getting abusive messages from Bry and Jura Rose. Metallic molecular mineralic seems to be the next trend. Yep. The vintage hypnotic poison I came across recently is fantastic. Speaking of Fahrenheit, Ganymede has some violet leaf also. It is a really weird combo. It's a very weird, strange, slightly unsettling. I think it's quite unsettling. It's quite foreign to my nose in that it's very much out of my sphere of not experience, because I've experienced metallic fragrances before, but it's a very strange place to arrive to for a perfume, you know. But I feel like Quentin Biche has been on this road for some time. I smelled Le Fin du Monde, and that is definitely, you can smell Ganymede in there. If you smell those two perfumes side by side, you can tell that Le Fin du Monde was made the best part of 10 years before Ganymede, and Ganymede is an extrapolation of that fragrance. You can smell the progression. Spaghetti alla carbonara, so delicious I can watch you again, says Duchamp. Love powdery and jiggy. I do not like powdery, lads. I do not like it, sorry. Jiggy powdery like a female mountain lion's arse. That is a very specific fucking reference. As dandy as Chris Eubank. I don't know, would I describe Chris Eubank as dandy? Possibly. Possibly. Fragmental as a shell, says DJ. That new Surge looks like my jam, says Jonathan. It sounds like my jam. Buenas tardes, John Pondy. Forgive me for pronouncing that terribly. I've been served a few times, says Pradeep. You may be right, DJ. They want us to smell like robots before we become cyborgs, says Tripler. I have a friend who would agree with you exactly. Harvey Nicks have the new Surge Lutons listed on their website now, so I may pop into the Manchester store during my lunch break this week to see if they have it available for test. I'm finished supporting Creed, says Frank. Like Ramsey, I'm stuck with what I need. I'm not a Creed fan, but I'm more a Pierre Bourdon fanboy. Rush Durr says, I actually own a 100-year-old top hat and a gold-handled cane that belonged to my great-great-grandfather. Was he a previous Rush Durr? We share the same name, and his name is engraved on the handle. Well, I should have read that before I asked. That is fantastic. Very handy as well. Chris is a bit too polished and neat for my liking. Can't trust those types, except for Rampton, says Boswell. I had spaghetti bolognese today, says Bosvaldo. I'll be having that on Wednesday. If you want to hate Biche more, how about Roos's favourite fragrance, says Brady. Is the Monopoly man a dandy? Depends what his personality's like. Probably tell Rich how much you like Uncut Gem. Uncut Phlegm. Oh dear. Ganymede is the next Aventus, says Jura. I have to be in the mood for powdery fragrances, says Rush. And with that, I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be back in a minute, friends. Fear not. Oh. Well. For some reason, I started singing Brain Damage when I was at the toilet by Pink Floyd. How strange. Ooh! I'm back. How are you? This fucking chair. Making some noises. Bry is here now. Yes, he was ignoring the stream before. Zonka sounds like Chechen, says Bosvaldo. Perfumes will start copying that style, Ganymede. Yuck. Rush has to be, Rush has to be in the mood for powdery fragrances. Is it true that Derby will be reintroduced commercially? I have no idea. Jura's throwing gas on it. Sounds Bhutanese. Lol. Uncut Gem is one of my least favourite mall, along with Outrageous, Sal Goss and Eau de Magnolia. I don't like any of those either. Anyone have much experience with D'Entrée Bras? I have my eye on it. I could have got a really old bottle of D'Entrée Bras and I just sacked it off. Did you buy it though? Did I buy what though? Learned today that I avoided up to 10 grand in a home repair, feeling like spending money to celebrate. Oh, good man. Ganymede smells like crazy. After someone comes in saying they smell it on someone else, exact same thing with the Ventus smells good in the air. Do you think there will be many clones of Ganymede like a Ventus in the near future, says Enrique? Enrique, yes, absolutely. Every second perfumer I talked to was playing around with some sort of Ganymede. Oh, fuck off. Bosvaldo says, TLTG, just started following him. He seems okay as a person, but I don't know him, of course. He's not a snob, and that's something good in my eyes. He was alright. He's sound. I have nothing against TLTG. Apparently he gets a lot of, well, I say apparently, I know for a fact he gets a lot of hate on the older jerks. Not sure why. because there are a lot more people who deserve it a fuck's sake more than he does. You know, a lot more than he does. But I've got to be honest, I'm not really up to date on the other jigs, although people send me links to the website all the time. I'm like, look. And I'm like, oh, look on Reddit. Because it didn't have an account. Excuse me whilst I make these strange noises. Because I couldn't. But then I found out that if you switch your browser over from Chrome to desktop site, you can actually look. You can't post anything, but you can look. So I did that a few times. But I'm just not socially media orientated, like. You know what I mean? As I say that on YouTube, I'm aware of the irony, don't worry. But I'm just not arsed. Oh, I beg your pardon. Whilst I hydrate. I'm going to put this bottle in the bin as it is finished. Another 5 litre bottle down. Oh. There's hydration. And then there's hydration, friends. Jura will be able to back me up. How much water do I drink? It's a lot. Jura, how is the X-Train? Is it redundant, anyone? Enrique, yes, there will be many clones, the way it goes. Pink Floyd forever. Jura Rosa store here would tell people to try to walk around, and almost always they would come back to buy it, says Deja. Frank, it's strong. The Immortal is ramping up to 100, not redundant, no, in my opinion. Blue to the healer, John Lee Hooker with Santana, says Bosvaldo. That was just a number of words put together. I didn't understand a single part of that sentence. The X-Ray sounds very interesting. That sounds terrifying. Creed just doesn't do it for me anymore. Unless we're talking about Wada Portugal, I still have a romantic attachment to that. I wore it on my wedding night. Well, there you go. That is the one. You cannot argue with that. Just obtained yesterday, unopened, sealed, 1985 ADP Obsession. Is it good juice? Well, it should be. It should be, mate. Lipstick Bohemian. What a sensational name. Welcome. Hi, first time joining. Scent of the Day's Volden Away Vintage, a sample I got. Really love your channel. Why, thank you. Welcome to you. What a name. Thanks, bro. Deep musks are my cup of tea. My favourite musk. You can't argue with that. You can't. Well, I mean, you can argue with it, but don't. Otherwise, I'll get upset. No, this is fabulous. This does different things on different people. This was a Manny. You know when you said you went for dinner with Manny David, are you talking about Cascade Scents? I assume that's who you meant. Because it's him that put me onto that fragrance. You can see how much I've used of it. Oh. Isn't Kiehl's Musk like 90% galaxolide? Possibly. It might be now. It didn't used to be. It used to be called Love Oil. DJ, yes, I had a few people say their dentist wears it. I've grown to love Immortal this last year. I do sound just got bracken man. Do you find it similar to Bird of Dieu? Floyd are great, but I still find Bowie to be their superior, says Bosvaldo. I appreciate the scent once, but not more than once. It's been done to death by its owner, perfumer. Pradeep, do you like L'Eau d'Hiver? And now it's going to be all over the market in different forms, especially from perfumers from the same flavour house he's from. Ganymede self-replicates unlike a Ventus, creating a clone army, says Tripler. Other jerks, yes, ha, says Boswell. I thought Ganymede was cool when it first came out. Saffroline, Immortel, Tangerine, and Osmanthus make for an interesting accord. Sounds like they've just rolled a dice there, though, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Sounds like they've just fucking, like, put that in, and then rolled it again, put that in. Yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of others who deserve more hate. Oh, all right, we're talking about that again. Sheesh, more Immortel, it was just enough. Why Imperial seems to be wanked over a lot as well, says DJ. Can I get an answer, Doc? What's the most masculine smelling women's targeted girl onto you? Well, I don't know. It's not an easy question to answer that. I don't have a lot of girl on. I have got some girl on, but not a lot of the female smelling ones. I mean, I've got Samsara EDP, but I wouldn't say it smells masculine. You know? Clemence is so sweet, says Bosweldo. Frank, imagine cooking a curry, then emptying a whole bottle of Ganymede over yourself, trying to hide it. Sure. When the money starts, then begins the milking. Big unit of water there, that is right. Yes, Frank, smells like entering a laundering room in a good way. Clemence is a lady for the theatre, says Ducerne. So is Quentin Biche the next great perfumer? I mean, I've said that I think he could define perfumery for a while. I don't know if he's the next great perfumer, but jonesing for a full bottle of L'Eau d'Hiver finally. Rich, where does all that water go? In me. Better being hydrated than pissing out brown piss, says DJ. Quentin Biche, new route for niche. Boy, Imperial is another Ganymede flanker, says DJ. Ooh, Rich, try ensalada on stream. That'll be fun. No, it won't. Anyway, I don't know that you actually gave me ensalada, to be honest with you. You gave us a lot of fucking perfumes and none of them actually had... This is what he does. He gives us perfumes and none of them have actually got the real fucking names on, so I don't know what they are. He did one for Amouage. Ganymede Original is quite nuclear. Exactly. Ensalada smells like a nosebleed to me. I got one for 100 off of a friend, Blind DJ, says Pradeep. Thank you for the welcome on you. Ganymede Extra is 33%. I don't get the intent or usefulness of Oda Jerk, says Rush. What does hating on fellow frag heads accomplish? I get what it was supposed to be. Targeting, rather than targeting frag heads, targeting salespeople, shills, targeting... Well, I mean, targeting is probably the wrong word. I would say satirizing them. But it's not that anymore. Whatever its original intention or motivation, it is not that anymore. It's not what it was supposed to be. There's a place for the satirizing and the holding up of a mirror to Fragcom to show how ridiculous we all are. I think there's a place for that in the world at large. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the Brit in us. That's the British way of finding out what somebody's made of, is to just laugh at them and see how they react. Can you take being laughed at? You know what I mean? That's how you know if you've got any character. But whatever fragrance, whatever Eau de Jerks is now, it ain't what it was when it's not what. It's not what it's set out to do. You know? So I agree with you in that of what it is. In practice, you're right. In theory, it was a good idea. In practice, it's just turned to hell, like. Yeah, Bish seems to have many versions of that particular style of his, says Frank. But I wouldn't get rid of it. Well, let me start again and just keep it about satire. Satirizing the whole idea of like people just coming in and receiving free bottles and pushing them and saying that they like them and fucking trying to sell you shit, trying to push shit on you, you know, like it was made to attack shills, not frag heads. But I do know what you're saying. In practice, you're right. In fact, you're right. Puerto Portugal is one of the few creed I like, but haven't tried them all. Says Pulp Ephemeral, Rose from Rose's Fragrances, and Justine from Justa Rose are my crushes on Fragcom, says Bosvaldo. Should Raskinhead do a collab with Biche? Nope. I have the original musk in oil. I can't smell it after 10 seconds, says Pulp Ephemeral. Not that much. Royal Oud is the best creed. I will always buy it. No DJ, like I said a few minutes ago, is one of my least favourites from Frederick Monsters. Keels have Donkey Tone. Don't have a clue. And why did you buy it, says DJ. I always think, could have Quentin Biche risen to the height he is without Givaudan? You could say that about a lot of perfumers and the people that they work for. Yes, Manny from Cascade Sense. We lunch at least once a month. Tell him I'm asking after him. Say hello. From me. What the fuck is Galaxolite, says Bob. Mysol Sandalwood and Deer Musk Maceration in the running for me. Galaxolite is a turkey musk ubiquitous in laundry and frags. Turnkey, not a turkey musk. Dear me. I slipped into a parallel universe there. Hey Dushan, have you tried Russian tea by Raskinhead? Is it a great tea perfume? Galaxolite is too cool a name for what it is. DJ, it was a partial, still wear it from time to time out of curiosity. Can't really sell it now. Cold places. So spaced out, I agree. Royal Oud is great. I'm waiting for a 2011 bottle to send it to our Jonathan. Good day, Paroli. I have to bet also from the same sources. I did. Nice. I gave you ensalada. Look, going in-house would make Biche more popular. Elk, moose, have musk. Hello, Anuj. That package is in your city. It's in Toronto anyway. What's the most stolen brand in your shop, DJ says? Amouage, I think. Or Mall. How much did Creed pay Chris for that video, lol? Well, George Z was in it, but still, says Bosvaldo. As we love you. If I get laughed at, it unleashes my telekinetic powers, says Lily. Oh. Dushan, let me know when you come across it. If they didn't pay for him, then it comes off a worse douche, says Bosvaldo. If I get laughed at, I know something is right. Who likes heliotrope? Dushan, not at the moment. Me. Heliocentric. I'm rooting for you, Dushan. Heliotrope is great, says Carnival Tribute. Roger likes heliotrope. I like heliotrope, says Dura Rose. Well, have you ever seen Dura Rose and Roger in the same room? You can tell who made it in every Raskinhead perfume. His dry downs are almost always so similar. Frank, I cannot answer that, says Dura. I like ugly florals. Narcissus. Hello in my beluga, I think. Helio. Ropion is still with the IFF, probably retire with a big pension and bonus. I'm sure Beluga has Helio. Me, an ugly floral. Le Bleu has the kitchen sink in it. Lily, let's get your picture back, says Frank. Invictus Victory Elixir is good. Smelled it on a tester, says Bosvaldo. I see the pineapple juice on the table, says DJ. Sweeter than the original Victory, which I thought lacked some sweetness. Jesus. Jiro Rose is the detective who will arrest Roger for lying. Also, dry downs are very similar and dark and awake, notably. Acro, dry downs are very similar, dark and awake, most notably. What do you get when you cross a pineapple and a mullet? Ted Lapidus, pour on. Dusan Roger has disappeared. I think he sold the brand, hasn't he? Pradeep, not going to lie, when Olivia Crest makes a perfume, I get ready for disappointment. Well, at this point, if you're still getting disappointed, it's an unusual one. Got a sample of Monterey after watching your Dusita impression, says Bosco. What did you think? Roger doesn't want that Oppenheim interview. Yikes. That was not a duck fart, Jura Rose. That is my chair. It is a creaky chair. DJ says, can't wait to sample Joram Studios. Didn't Roger release something recently? Possibly. Not really watching anymore, to be honest. I want a Quader Russi bottle for historical reasons, says Based Out. Any thoughts on Guerlain Volden away? Not personally, no. It's not my thing. That oligarch business set him back, as it should. Pradeep. Didn't Roger? Pradeep oligarch set made by the new place that makes his perfumes. Any thoughts on Guerlain Volden away? That oligarch business set him back. Dusan, it's a computer. Selling my vintage Devon to buy Desandre. Devon is too barnyardy, in my opinion. Oligarch is renamed. Bry, if any brand reached out to me to say I like a shit perfume, I'd say it's a damn masterpiece and a panty dropper along with it, of course. It's because you're a motherfucking shill, bitch. Angdolic Oud, very nice. Pradeep says, okay, you have to send it to his favourite YouTubers, maybe, says Pradeep. Thoughts on Guerlain Le Medial Intense? I actually quite like the Intense one, the one with the black bottle. Or it used to be the black bottle. There is a couple of new Guerlains coming out, actually. Like, there's a flanker of that. There's a flanker of Habit Rouge coming out, Privé, and then there's a flanker of another one coming out. It's a new La Medial. I like the Intense one, the one with the incense. But I never bought it. I just think that line. Hey, I've got the EDP. It's just too sweet. It's just too cherry, sugar, almond sweet for me. It's everyone's opinion on the zoo. I've got a friend who loves it. Just disappointed with the ones I've tried. Probably others will find one or two, but they're like, yeah, I didn't like any. Rush says, I live in the world of showbiz. Fragrance reviewing has evolved into a form of showbiz. So a talent for the art is the most important qualifier. You either have it or you don't. I think that I mean, I know you've been around a while, Rush, in the fragrance community, I mean, and you will have seen the changes, the same changes I've seen, the same changes that other people have seen. The shift away from actual reviewing to the fragrances being a prop and an excuse to make a video in which the person is the star, not the fragrance. Personally, I'm not massively into that. I'm much more hardcore, and this is a personal thing and it's nobody else's fault. I'm much more sort of staunch when it comes to what I want. I just want a review, you know? Like, I just want to see people sit and talk about the fragrance. Now you've got people who are using the fragrances as props. You know? It's I want to make a video. I want to be on camera. I want to make it. I want to put some content out there. I want to gain clout on the internet. And it's like I can get easy followers, especially if you're a lass, especially if you're a girl, and you don't even have to be pretty. You can just be not ugly, you know. And the men will follow like puppy dogs, and that's their fault. I mean, the content that people are getting now is the content that they're watching, you know. So you get the content that you pay for, basically, or you get the content that you're going to watch. And that's why the state of the fragrance community is because men think with their fucking dicks. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. I loathe these idiotic terms such as panty dropper and woman killer. Yeah, it's bollocks. It's total bollocks. It's total bollocks. If I were a YouTuber, my brand would be the hate list. Pradeep says Platine Privé and Rouge Privé. Oh, yeah. I have the black bottle, pepper and leather over the original Accord. DJ, you will be a famous contrarian. Abdul Rahman says, oh, sorry, you asked me a question before. Oh, sorry, hold on a second, Abdul Rahman. Thoughts on Guerlain Lamadial Intense? Yes, sorry. By the way, I am asking you because you're not one of those fake YouTubers that give fake opinion because they're sponsored by these companies. Bang. That is what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. That is the type of content that I want. I want somebody's actual opinion, someone who's invested in the hobby themselves, who is interested in fragrances, not just as a prop or a foot in the door, you know? Like, that's the type of thing I would say, you know? And there is a diminishing audience for that kind of content. Massively diminishing. You know? So the Lomadial line, Abdul Rahman, is generally a little bit sweet for me. There's a couple of them in there that are good. The Cologne, or is it the Cool? I quite like the Cool because I like mint. I've got the EDP and I've used quite a lot of it, but I kind of feel like I've moved past it. Now you can see there's my bottle. I've put a respectable dent in that. It's good and it's well made, you know, but it's just a little sweet for me. The Intense was probably my favourite from the line, but I don't know that I would buy it again. If you like it, you buy it, but test it first. Test it first. Make sure you like it. Osvaldo, you and me both despise those terms. Is Vasa still at Guerlain? If he is, he's much diminished in his role. I really didn't like the leather one from the zoo that Turing gave 5 stars. Way too strong for me. Hey, do you have any recommendations from our Keist? Dushan DJ is our beloved contrarian. Why did you say Jesus when reading my message about Victory Elixir? Because Invictus is shit. Dushan probably ask anyone who's talked to me when I say I don't like something and give a solid argument as to why most of the time. He does. He has his opinions, and he'll tell you why. Nobody needs to necessarily justify their opinion on a matter of taste. You either like it or you don't. But he does. I talk to DJ all the time, and he will often, more often than not, tell you why. He doesn't just say he thinks something's shit just because it's new. You know? There is rhyme and reason there. Club Design, I think it's called. I'm not too big into leathers, though. I do like a good leather. I want to wear me Smolto pour on soon. I fucking keep eyeing it up, and then something comes over. This is what happens when you've had a fragrance for a while. You're like, look at the motherfucking dent I've put in that, man. Jesus. I thought it was bigger, actually. God. But, yes. Oh. What a fragrance that is, by the way. But I was going to wear that today, and then I just thought, bollocks. I'm going to wear music for a while. Because you always think, oh, I haven't worn that for a while, or I have worn this recently, and I've worn a lot of Smolto Pour-On. So I try to wear other stuff that I haven't worn as much. So I try to spread it around a bit, but I really want to wear some more of that. I'll wear that tomorrow, I think. Poor Vass, I can't be himself. I don't think he gets freedom to do what he really wants. Well, I mean, you're almost absolutely nailed it that he doesn't get freedom to do what he wants, but most perfumers don't. So you're telling me if Dior reached out and said positively review every preview that comes out the next few years for 25k a year, you wouldn't do it, Rich? No. Or for 25k a year? No. I was listening to Les Odorant last week, and the guy on there, Dan Rothschild, said, I was listening to Eugene's stream with Rich and Eugene, and I liked it, and I thought they were very nice, and they were canny and everything, but Rich said something which I thought was total bullshit, which was he wouldn't say something nice about a perfume for £1 million. And I do understand it's a ludicrous statement to make, because it's £1 million and it's a life-changing amount of money. The problem is, the point I'm trying to make is, where do you draw the line? At what point do you draw the line? I might have been using an overinflated amount of money. The point I would try to make, I'm trying to make a wider point, and he wasn't being serious, saying this bloke's talking total bullshit and you shouldn't listen to anything he said. That's not what he was saying. £1 million? I don't know. Do you know what it is? I've got this fucking thing where it's I've got the righteous indignation going on. You know what I mean? And I'm one of them fucking people who would cut my own nose off to spite me face. I would for £1 million, at what point do you draw the line? You know? Seriously. When do you say, enough's enough? I certainly wouldn't do it for a free fucking bottle. For £1 million, more likely. But I would tell you that I was being paid £1 million. For a free bottle, to me, that smacks of low standards. Have you got no ambition? Could you not do better? Are you not better than that? What, for a free bottle? And not only that, right? But that's not the only way to do things. You can be successful other ways. Ashton has shown that. Ashton's the most successful YouTube reviewer at the minute. Certainly the men's, anyway. You know? The views he gets on his videos are organic, and they are massive. He doesn't take free bottles. He works with like retailers, you know, like I don't know, fucking, I can't remember what they're called, but there you go. Enrique, I have explored the brand. I'm sorry to say. Anyone got any good suggestions for our Keist? So no, for 25 grand a year to say everything that come out of Dior, no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. And go back on everything I've already said and make a liar out of myself. Yeah. What you're doing there is you're failing to take into consideration the wider context. You know what I mean? I'm on my high horse now, you know, about it in general. Like, not just like now because of what's being said. I'm like fucking, I've got me back up about it. Like, I've backed myself into a corner about it. Imagine trying to explain that to fucking Ramsey and fucking, and Eugene and fucking Galen and fucking all of that sort of thing after everything I've said. Oh, by the way, lads, I'm not going to say a bad word about these brands anymore because they're giving us loads of money. Bollocks, man. Bollocks. Who's going to do something? Not getting away with anything here. I'm from the Balkans, says Bosvaldo. Nan band, says DJ. Have you heard of Pavarotti Pour On? Pretty amazing, apparently. That's right, Brian. Getting chosen to be the in-house perfumer at Guerlain is winning the lottery. I don't feel bad for him at all. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse, though, isn't it, Fosco? I mean, imagine being chosen to be the in-house perfumer of Guerlain, the first non-Guerlain to hold such a position, and then being told that you can't create good fragrances. You can't create Guerlain fragrances. You basically have to be the overseer of the demise of the brand. You're responsible for what Guerlain became. It's nearly 200 years of history you're shitting on there. You know? Vassar drinks good wine, he is all right, says Jura. Do you still wear Roadster from Cartier? I wore it yesterday, Enrique. It's fucking fabulous. Rush says, Rich, I know talent when I say it and you have it. In the real world, my rep was built on spotting real talent. That's how I made sure my husband became one of the gods of animation. Goodness me. Well, thank you very much, Rush. Rush. You are too kind. I would like to know more about this. The gods of animation. Someone recommended me stuff to sample, says DJ. Yeah, L'Intense is the one I have. I wouldn't mind, yeah, I quite enjoyed that one because the somebody said pepper before, and it might be pepper, but I'm sure it had incense in it. And it might be because it's called L'Intense. But I'm sure it had incense in it. I wish I was Irish sometimes, says Bosvaldo. Has anyone tried the extreme version of L'Homme from Guerlain? Not extreme. Is that not the extreme we're talking about? Has anyone tried the extreme? I can assure you that all Canadian reviewers aren't sponsored by anyone. I know this firsthand, says Rush. I don't mind the L'Homme line compared to what's put out at the minute. Yeah. You should see some of the most followed Italian perfume reviewers. I find them ridiculous, says Paul Perfemo. Good evening, Keith. Speaking of L'Homme Intense, did you see Exotic Sense Maker come? I did. That's good. That improves the fragrance community. As would the return of Christo, but I don't think he's coming back. Which is a fucking mortal wound. Absolutely fucking terrible blow, that. to all of us. Vasa pretty much right now just keeps the old stuff to good quality. Yes, at least Guerlain isn't doing amber wood in their ideal. What did I smell amber wood in the other day that I was absolutely mortified by? What was it? Jura, I was telling you about this. What was it? Aventus. Aventus has got an amber wood in it. It's not birch, it's amber wood. There's a fucking dirty, great fucking amber wood in Aventus. I hate it. It may have been an exceptional perfume at one point, but it ain't anymore. Excuse me whilst I hydrate, by the way. Everything new is jelk outside of oud coal. Boys, you can't escape it here. Irish is everything, everywhere. Signs spoken on public transport. It's a bilingual country, to be honest. Yeah, I see why you and Ramsey get along so well. You just axe a fragrance because you don't like it, the line it belongs to. No, that's not fair at all. That's not fair at all. If I liked a fragrance that was in a line I didn't like, then I would say. Like there are a number of creeds I don't like and a number of creeds I did like. Matilda Laurent knows how to use the note of mint, herba fresca and roadster. That is correct. I'm attested, by the way. I've been watching your content for a while and I decided to sub to the channel. Thank you, Abdul Rahman. Monsieur Barman tomorrow or Veteva tomorrow? Veteva. This is what I'm talking about, Dusan prejudice. Oh, Bosvaldo, you are a harsh mistress. That Lapidus will go off, says Jury. Music for a while. Pineapple is better than Aventus. Aventus. Music for a while has a better pineapple note. VJ very minimalist like the rest of the brand, just really showcasing ingredients, how to find variety in the space. Juicy pineapple and music, I like them as well. Live cologne style. Yeah, that's how I feel about most of the brand's offerings. Rich is a man of sheer will and commitment. For better or worse. Ambra Supreme is the main departure from the showcase style, says DJ. Low worth. Yes. Maybe there's a lot of free bottles, says Paul Buffano. I prefer a Sarah from Ducita for an ambergris fougere, but Ambra Supreme is great quality. Ash came to mind. Product, I couldn't agree more. Honestly, you want to see him park a car, he'll spot a spot that is half the size of his car yet will somehow fit the spot. That was extremely impressive, even if I do say so myself. That fucking had Jura, Lee, and the guy whose car it was behind my car watching, and I got this car into a space it had no fucking earthly right to be fitted into. It was exceptional. Ha! I'm waiting for a specific lavender scent to be released, but it's not ready yet. Yeah. It seems many of these influencers are not even ashamed to call the brand and ask for bottles to be sent. Yeah, I've seen receipts of some certain reviewers who, if they ever turn up at my doorstep and start accusing me of saying nasty things, I have the receipts to show them in their face of them fucking begging and sniffing for bottles. So that will be fun. Malol says manly sense. What does that mean? Instagram is even worse. Yeah, oh fuck that. I can't be arsed with that. Look at fucking Eugene and Galen and fucking loads of people tell us I should get Instagram, and it's like I can't think of anything fucking worse. Like, it would drive us up the fucking wall. Everyone stopped sending him bottles because he didn't follow their script or time frame. Exactly. PM email for collabs equal no talent. Yep. Free bottles and a paid stay in Dubai. Yep. Doesn't that guy from Ledo's Rinse get free bottles? Yes, he does. And not use the paid promo tag on his Instagram. Which one? Daniel? I don't know. But I do know that they get. I don't know that they get free bottles. I've said that samples is another thing. So I've said that and I apologise. It's not what I meant. I do know that they've had free samples, though. I don't know that they've had free bottles. It's just not for me. I just think that the questions can be asked of people who get free bottles. They have a question to be asked of them, and they leave themselves open. And I'm not talking about Les Odorants here. I'm talking about everyone, right? If you don't like being asked these fucking questions, stop getting free bottles, right? Otherwise, they are perfectly legitimate questions to be asked of your credibility. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. You don't like it? Unlucky. Stop doing it if you don't like it. Doesn't that guy not usually? Ash is one of the most decent guys I know. He comes across that way. So, Rush says, Ash is one of the most decent guys I know. I admire what he's accomplished. When I entered the scene, he was among the first to offer me a place at the table when others would not. There's the final question. Can you be compensated for giving a company access to your audience while retaining integrity and the trust of said audience? And the answer is no. 95% of these brands are nouveau niche. No designers. Rich talent spotting is BS. Is Frank pepper and incense and leather. Yes, Linton's extreme in the red bottle. Lately enjoying my Bleu de Chanel parfum bottle. Needed something simple and clean. Evening, Greggy boy. L'Homme Ideal Extreme is the one I have. One I like the most. I sold my bottle of Bleu de Chanel parfum and it never made it to the destination. Rachel says, ethical question for you, my dear friend. What do you think of brands sending free samples for review rather than bottles? I think that should be the norm for everybody. Free samples. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Everybody should be able to get free samples. The Creed way of doing it, not giving any samples out. I understand people going in and just wanting fucking like people going into boutiques and saying, oh, can I get like a sample of this? Can I get a sample of that? Can I get a sample of this? And then just doing that like twice a week. You know what I mean? Bollocks to them. But really, free samples should be the way. Everybody should get one. At least one. And there should be a decent size. 3 mils. All right, sample sets. I would be happy to meet everybody in the middle with that one. Right, I'd be happy because I've said before, right? That why don't companies send out, right? So there's been a few times when I've seen certain reviewers review a fragrance of the day it came out or the day that they received the perfume. Right? So if you can do that with a bottle, why can't you do that with a sample? Right? You can, because it's the same thing, except you don't want to because you're not being paid enough, you feel. So it's bollocks. Free samples for all. Everybody should be given a free sample. You know? And then you decide if you buy it. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll see how many bottles in your fucking collection you end up with. How many bottles you're willing to buy. You know what I mean? That's what should be done. Even minis. Even do like a 5 or a 10 mil mini. That's at a push though. I would still say the samples if you want to be a purist. But it's free bottles for review is bollocks. It's payment for review. And that means it's not a review. It's a commercial. Ethical question for you, my dude. What do you think of brands sending free samples for review rather than bottles? Does that make a difference? I only review fragrances I buy with my own money, but often after free samples. See, that sound. How many times do you get free samples in the shops? Standard practice that should be. Samples, absolutely. Nikhil makes me wish I knew Indian. I still think he's got great content, but in his Indian channel. Evening, Greggy boy. Aventus never had Birch, it always had IBQ. Samples are the way to go, in my opinion, says Fosco. Absolutely. Habit Rouge Instinct is shit. Aventus is IBQ and Ambroxan, says Frank. Aventus never had Ambergris. Linstinct. Just Jura said it already. They used captured Ambrox. Captive. Beat that horse, says Bob. And changed, supposedly. I smelled the new Green Irish Tweed and I detected a woody amber tone. I may be wrong, but I trust my nose these days. I still like OG old Aventus. Sorry, Mitch, says Bosvaldo. Don't be silly. You don't need to apologise, mate. It's fine. It's sound. If you're asking, like it's a perfectly reasonable fucking thing to say that. You know what I mean? I've tried Aventus only recently and I don't like it, says Paul Buffano. Spotting real talent is the lack of bullshit. Bullshit is the lack of talent. You can't fake talent. You either have it or you don't. There is no middle ground, says Rush. I like mint, like duck, and the ideal coolest I could never get in the States, god damn it all. You need an Anouge. How about Rouge going ham? Says Bob. Smells like ham. It was perfect except you left your wheel turned. So I asked you to get back in and turn the wheel straight. Yes, that's right. With or without auto parking. Auto parking is not a real thing. We do not do auto parking. My car was made in 2008. Dubai oligarch that sponsored Demi Rawlings get his money's worth. Pass. DJ, we are the fan club, all right. Jura, Fragrance Weirdo. I get to see my reviews on Insta so far on Dev and Jura enjoys. Rachel, hope you are well. 2 hours starts now, says Bob. It does not. Might continue with that brand. That's hype but bad, says DJ. Sure, I am well. How are you? Get your blood up, Frank. Glad to hear I am doing good, being busy, so cannot complain. 2 hours hasn't started yet. Was Demi the one that had to deal with Fragrance Dubois? Yes, she was, Peter. Samples are the best way to try a perfume, says Jura. Absolutely it is. Duck, that's great. What's great? Chanel doesn't let you choose any good samples when you buy from their site. Hello, Robes, how are you? I love it when Rich gets on his soapbox. He makes it sound so sexy. Speaking of sexy, Robes has entered the building, says Brush. Spaced out Chanel are awful for samples here, even when you spend. My hip is going fucking spare. Excuse me whilst I shuffle. Yeah, free samples. Free samples for everybody, by the way. Free samples for everybody. The sales, if your perfume's good, the sales should cover the fucking outlay of the samples. It's not rocket science. Make better perfumes. You know? Hopefully this fucking cartel business that's been going on with the arrests and the well, I don't think there's been arrests, but there's been raids at these companies. Hopefully this business busts up the cartels and we start to get some fucking divergence between them and perfume starts smelling as it used to. As in, there's a greater spread, you know? Oh, that new bottle's colder. Much colder than the old one. Wow. Oh, surprising coldness. Woof. Wow. Where did that come from? Tired of it? No variety at Costco food court, says Frank. The only brand that I've dealt with as a customer now that are happy to give samples is Mall. Sad to say, says Julie Rose. Hello, everyone. Scent of the day is Aventus cologne. Never smelled it and just unboxed it with the channel. It came out thin and well done and then started going smelling designer. Creed are dead. Creed are dead. Perfumer H has the best sample. Oh, someone called Ryan's Reviews. Well, welcome Ryan's Reviews. Somebody loves my accent. Fuck the bottles, go to Sephora, spray before you go out, 0 expense. Bang. That's what I did with Boy last week. Found a bottle of Boy, right, by Chanel on eBay for 200 quid. They're 350 quid now, right? And I thought, fuck me, that's cheap. So I got up off my arse last Monday, went into fucking Harrods, smelled boy. Sprayed it on, asked for a sample. No, we don't have any samples, sorry. And I actually know the kid. Like, I say I know the kid. Like, I'm familiar with him. He's a really good lad. And he was like, sorry, mate, I just can't, we just don't have anything to give you. And I was like, all right, then, no bother. And I sprayed it and walked out, and I was like, I just fucking keep me 200 quid. I don't need this. I've got Twazi M Om. I've got a vintage. I've got two Twazi M Om vintages by Caron. I don't need this boy. Powdery bastard, though. I just think frowning upon something someone likes is a bit not that polite. I agree, and I understand, but I'm not here to necessarily be polite. Disrespectful, you could say. But then there's too much of that in the fragrance community. Everybody's pally, lovey-dovey. You know, everybody, oh, well, you know, it's like, you're like, no, some people's opinions are shit. And not that I'm saying your opinion is shit, Bosvaldo, but what I'm saying is that there's too much people going along with other people's stuff simply because they know it would infringe upon their commercial interests. You know, two reviewers. You look at me and Eugene. I don't consider myself a reviewer per se. I'm more of a consumer, a punter. I feel anyway. Me and Eugene disagree about fucking almost everything about perfume as far as taste is concerned, but we've got similar standards to what we want. You know what I mean? Like, our tastes in perfume are quite different. Don't get us wrong, there's some overlap where we're just like totally fucking one-to-one, but there's a lot, in fact, most, where we would disagree with each other. You know, that boy thing about Chanel. Walked in, I just said it smells like Twazi M Om, and he was like, no, it doesn't. And I was like, yeah, it does. Like, we disagree about everything, but a lot of other reviewers won't disagree with each other because they both know that their hustle is at threat. You know? I don't give a fuck about other people's hustle. There's too much serene progress going on. There's too much back scratching. There's too much brown nosing. There's too much laughy, smiley, happy clapping. Bullshit. Where can I get a nouge for me house? Says Pradeep. My nose is the only part of my body I still trust these days, says Rush. Oh my God, if me nose went, I'd be devastated. Honestly, at Christmas, I got the ick, the global ick at Christmas, and it just, me taste, me smell. I'd have rather lost me sight, touch wood, or me hearing. God, I was wounded. When you can't trust your own Johnson, says Pradeep. All Sephora here. Many street dudes stopping on the daily spray like a beast and go about their day, says Bob. Yeah, that's wrong. I got a Ventus colouring at release when it was scarce, easy, brainless wear like Roger's Elysium. I thought Ventus colouring was all right when I first smelled it. Or was it Viking colour? No, it was a Ventus colour. Which one was the orange one? With the tangerine. I thought that one was all right. And then I smelled it later and I was like, oh God, no fucking shit. This Fosco smells like a Chanel Allure flanker. Thicker, fresher scent. Tobacco Law is not bad at all. Finally smelled it today, says Bry. Not as bad as Eugene and some of the members made it out to be. Very much in line. Along with Tabac's signature tobacco. I think signature tobacco is superior, if you want the truth. I think signature tobacco's fantastic. The only reason I don't wear it more is because I've got Tabac Rouge. But I've got a bottle and I won't be selling it. You know what I mean? I'll be wearing it. Sometimes brainless is good enough. Not everything has to be challenging. Spot on. As long as it's good quality. I'll be going on a bit longer than 10 o'clock tonight because I'm on my fucking high horse. I'm sure they were. So I'll be going on over 2 hours tonight. Don't worry, friends. I don't know how much longer, but it'll be more than that. I'm not ready to finish yet. I am sure they wear cheap sports gear all the time, Bob, says Brody. Justin Nazar says, Boz, I get your point, but it's okay to criticise companies for making mass appealing stuff that is unoriginal, especially if you think it negatively impacts perfumery, but I do understand. Here is what I don't like. I know a frag head who stopped liking certain scents just because others told her they were crap on Fragcom streams. That's not good. Conforming to majority. So, yes, you should always trust your own nose. And I tell you to do that all the time. And you like what you like. There are people out there, like, well, fucking hell, we can take fucking Daniel. Jeremy, as he's known. Jeremy once said, with a straight face, that he would wear a cologne that he hated if everybody else liked it and it got him compliments. What is wrong with you? Who hurt you, Daniel? Who hurt you, son? Are you all right? Do you need a biscuit? Like, what is happening with that shit? Bonkers. So, no, you shouldn't just conform to what other people tell you. You certainly shouldn't conform to what influencers fucking tell you, because they're being paid to say it. So, I agree with you on that point. This is very much all my opinion. I want a perfume that smells like a woman's sweat over a floral super with some cumin. Yikes. I would love for brands to send samples to many Instagram, TikTok, YouTubers. You'll get rid of the moochers that say nice things for bottles to build a collection. Spot on. You do realize that it's the consumer, it's you that pays for these free bottles for the influencers, don't you? Because you have to pay for them. And the companies write off those bottles as marketing expenses. So you pay for the, you listening, pay for those free bottles for the people who get their free bottles, but whose all opinions are their own. I don't have much time for Dior anymore. No, probably my favourite house, or was my favourite house for a long time. Dead to us now, finished. I can't imagine them releasing anything I would enjoy in the near future. Yeah, I shouldn't smell like a dead beaver all the time, says Frank. Yeah, fuck that. I mean, fucking, what have I been wearing recently? I've been wearing Prada Amber Pour Homme, which is like the most anti-dead beaver fragrance there is. Roadster by Cartier, which is a sensational fragrance, which has criminally been discontinued. Fucking Eau Sauvage Parfum, speaking of Dior, which is an amazing fragrance. You know what I mean? Like, there is a time and a place to smell like a dead beaver. And there is a time and a place not to smell like a dead beaver. And the times and the places are when you don't feel like smelling like that. You were right about Prada, Amber Prada. It's strong. It is strong. It's a fabulous fragrance. What a fucking scent. Get the made in fucking Spain version if you can. The made in France version is poverty. I should sell my bottles and just spray at Sephora before I go out. Best tactic. Yeah, well, I mean, fucking there are many people who do that. You get bored like Kevin Samuels used to. I say, I like what I like, and if you think that's crap too bad, you won't change my mind. Spot on. Best way to be. Spend a fortune just doing fucking Aventus, then live on noodles for 3 months. Idiotic, says Bosvaldo. Spot on again. If it ain't Cartier or Hermes designer-wise, I don't care, says DJ. Creed needs to hire Julian Rasconnez as the nose of the brand, and they would not be dead. It would be a power move, and they start a new future for them. Oh, they could try and get Pierre Bourdon back out of retirement. Boy is average like a large section of Chanel. Is that how far behind I am? Robes, I agree big time. Yeah, I do apologise too quickly sometimes, says Bosvaldo. But Creed makes his own perfumes. Why does he need Rasconnez, says Brody. Rasconnez already did the Royal exclusive Aqua Originale line like Vetiver Geranium and Royal Oud. He just may be. I think they've definitely got their favourites. This is tremendous. I haven't worn this for about 2 years. Like, this is awesome. Aberdeen Lavender. An Amber Fougere. What a bizarre fucking thing to do. See, this to me is like Boy, but a fuck's side cheaper. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely gorgeous. Dress it up, dress it down. Fucking wear it during the day, wear it at night. And wear it if you're a man, wear it if you're a woman. Or anything in between. The dark brownie one, says Rachel Grigg. What do you mean by that? Tripler says, to add insult to injury, they are homogenizing all their bottles, which makes them easier to fake. Then they can kill the second-hand market, only buy from an authorized dealer. Well, the thing is, Tripler, they're already trying to do that by tightening the supply lines. Have you noticed that discounters are not selling their perfumes? They haven't got as wide. They haven't got as wide of a They haven't got as wide a selection anymore, and their prices aren't as good anymore. You know, fucking discounters are dying. Certainly in Europe, in Britain. Leon is dog shit, says fucking DJ. I agree. Robes, have you smelled Eau de Hermes? I would imagine he has. Yeah, well, two people can get something very different from the same perfume scent as personal. That's absolutely true as well. DJ says Eau de Hermes is better than Bellamy. Ooh. I respect Boy is a very vintage Pre-Azzaro Fougere, says Fosco. People say something good in Slumber House. Oh, God. Too much laughy, happy clapping. Yeah. All I say is shit. Slumber House is absolutely rotten. Absolutely no idea how people can think that that's like... What the fuck? I smell floral poop. My wife smell poop. White and cologne repulsed me. Not easy to do, says Jura. That's personal. The ick didn't affect my smell, says Peter. You're lucky. Yikes, must be why I see Viking cologne for cheap. Signature tobacco is very nice. It is. I remember when Persley's reviewed Creed Viking and called it a man-spreading perfume. Yes, it does remind me of socks, DJ. It really is. I smell after it. Hours with Duck. Yay. What's that park in London with the soapbox talk? Hyde Park. Yeah, Speaker's Corner. Enjoyed Viking and he's not wrong. I should man spread more. Thanks for the reminder. I need to try that vanilla diorama, Bobby. Bri, you're so rotten. Never follow the crowd, always decide and sample. Yes, just arrived. What's the crossness about theme? I'm angry about fucking people who get free bottles and then tell you to go out and spend your money on said free bottles. You know? Every perfume here, apart from that bottle of Iris Nazarena, which was a gift, and also the bottle of Vintage Lidge, which Eugene very kindly sent me, and which was a gift from a friend, you know, and also the Les Abstraits, which I don't talk about because they were free. I can't tell somebody to spend money on something I won't spend my own fucking money on. You know what I mean? Jesus. Sorry, Rachel, I'm not angry at you there. I'm just angry in general. I do like the ambroxiousness dry down of Lane a little, says Bob. Francesca Bianchi are very good, says Bri. They are not. You were right about Prada Amber. It's strong. Jeremy looks totally disfigured. I don't know if that's a harsh word, but he doesn't look like he used to for sure. No, he doesn't. He's unwell. I think it's his diet. There's people who have been around him, spent a lot of time around him, and say that he's definitely not on drugs. So there's something is wrong. Like, in all seriousness, like I'm past the point of taking the piss out of him at the minute. It's like there's something wrong with you, you know, like the decline which you've seen. Like, he looks ill, you know, he looks ill. Bought 6 bottles blind since they were on sale on Fragnet. Successful blind buys in a great house, says Bry. Jesus, Bry, are you taking the piss? Okay, the problem is people listen to them instead of choosing what they like no matter what. They're smiling happy faces and clapping hands, says his pulp of femme. You're right. Can't be wearing leather rude and taste to executive meetings. You fucking could in the 80s. Just you wait while I get my Gregos, I'll shill those, says DJ. Can't wear that in the hospital, sadly. I wait. I go easy when I go to places like that, because there are, like, you've got to fucking take into account the fact that people aren't well, you know. Also, if I was going to be stuck in a room with somebody, or I should say they were going to be stuck in a room with me, right? I wouldn't just wear something that was going to be absolutely fucking foul, you know. I would at least have some consideration. I have this incredibly divided relationship with IBQ. I love the smell of it. I love its effect. I love it in perfumes, but I also detect it too quickly. And it makes me feel bored. It's weird, says Jura. Can't wear that in the hospital. IBQ too, right? May I say I hate when they clap their hands, particularly at the beginning, to draw attention. Aberdeen lavender is great. It smells nothing like, boy. It smells like a lighter musk ravageur. Nah, it's mint. So I like the stuff and I know what you mean, says Frank. Just found Oud Infinite on a discounter. Buy it, sit on it for a year or two, sell it, retire. Frag buy, says Frank. Perfume collectors make great bargain hunters. That's true. Is it the Canadian discounter? How can a dead anything be fancied? Fragrance net, says Fosco. I have to be honest, I really enjoy Slumber House, even if they are unconventional. I see a cokehead when I see one, allegedly, says Frank. Good night, Jura Rose. Well, he still looks great. He's 45-ish, not 25 after all. He's fucking younger than me. Are you talking about Jeremy Fragrance? Behave, he's like 31, 33. Which of you ever smelled Paul Sebastian Fine Cologne? Not that I can remember, no. I think he starved himself to the point of becoming seriously ill. Jeremy not eating for 36 hours, then eating cucumbers and eggs. Yikes. I'm not making light, but we would guess he had an eating disorder. Yeah. I think there's something going on there. Great perfume at a great price. Too tired, good night. Oh, thank you, Rich. Good night. Paul Parfumon, thank you. Maintaining Jeremy Fragrance levels of body fat permanently is not a good idea, says Proddy. Yeah. What? He's 33. Oh, crap, he does look like shit. Man, I'm 37. I'm not saying I'm as good looking as him. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, like, I look healthier and I'm fucking pretty overweight. Do you know what I mean? Strangelove is a pretty good house. I'm considering 15 mil bottles of Dead of Night, Melt My Heart, and Fall into Stars if I find them aftermarket. I would have Melt My Heart. Constant low body fat levels fucks your hormones, says DJ. Yep, he was born in October 89. That's 4 years after me. I've got 4 years on that boy. He looks ill. I'm going to the bathroom. I will be back. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Welcome, friends. I am back. Oh, dear me. What a day. It hasn't actually been that mad of a day. Oof. Oops. So, what are the peeps saying? I was 18 in 1989. Out of Fajr, I believe it's called that diet. Would you do Balenciaga Pour On review in your white undies? Nope. Right, those are the only three I enjoy. Has anyone tried vintage Worth Pour On? The one with a big W across the front? I played Nintendo for the first time in '89, says Frank. I've read quite a lot of mediocre things. But he's become so crazy, I think he'd rather die than go to hospital or a clinic. Fired his own brother. Well, I mean, fucking families are a weird thing, aren't they? I actually just googled it. His birthday is the 5th of February 1989. So he's 34. An actual eating condition is more likely than a bad diet choice, that or substance abuse. As vain as he is, I imagine the thought of turning 35 is too much. He'd rather die before that. Jesus Christ, calm down, Bosvaldo. Who the fuck are we talking about, Jeremy? I don't think he would like to die. I hope he wouldn't like to die. Where are we? Who gives a fuck, says Triplet. He's not in the slightest bit physically attractive, and nor is his personality, to be honest, says Peter. Miami men in general. Oh, well. The less said about Miami men, the better, I think, don't you? Especially if they've got Miami in the name. To be fair, most of the people I know from Miami are sound as fuck. There's always one bad apple. What's the truth about Balafra? I'll tell you the truth about Balafra. I was bidding on a bottle, and I was going to win it for £35 for a fucking vintage bottle as old as time. Alright? And then, unbeknownst to me, some absolute shithouse fucking came in and bought it for £36 at the last second. That only happened today. That's the truth about Balafra. He was talking of having kids with some woman in America. What's the truth? Back. Welcome, Abdul Rahman. He pretended to be gay to get out of sexual assault charges. Vile man. I mean, if the police bought that, I mean, they're fucking stupid, like, because, I mean, you would have to do better than that, surely, to just get out of, like, that kind of thing, but, you know. Prices are outrageous. I have a Mini coming. Wow. Anything coming in the post, Rich? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, there is, Fosco. Let's talk about perfume, shall we? So, I bought a 100ml of Infusion Dom by Prada, right? For 47 quid. It's got like 25, 30 ml missing, which is like not a lot for 47 quid. I was fucking over the moon with it. Over the moon with it. Absolutely no idea that I'd bought it. I got an email yesterday saying, do you want to pay for this thing that you have bought? And I was like, what? And then I looked and I'd won it. 47 quid, man. I've got a bottle of Prada Amber Pour Homme coming, which I won the bidding on by 69 pence. Shout outs to Joey Cannoli. As I have told you before, as my tribute to Joey Cannoli, every time I bid on an item on eBay, I put 69 pence in the fucking end of it. My winning bid was £75.69. The bid underneath me was £75. Mint. I've got a bottle of Jean de Prep Versailles Pour Homme Eau de Cologne coming. I recently got in a backup of Eau Sauvage Parfum in a 200ml, which I paid 70 quid for, which is cheaper than the 50ml. That's insane. I'm sure you agree. I've got a bottle of Manifesto by YSL coming, but that's for someone else. Good night, Osvaldo, Sweet Prince. Eau Sauvage Parfum, lovely, absolutely. Why am I throwing my digital devices around the room? No Santal Blanc backup? Not yet. Not yet. I do like it. Oh. We do know you can wear Serge Loutons anytime, any place. Bryce says, you're in music for a while today, Rich. Love that. I am in music for a while today, Bry, and it is fantastic. I highly recommend it. I don't highly recommend it, although I do recommend it. It's a good fucking, it's a good, Have you tried Furore Noir? Smells like a precursor to Pure Tonka Rochasman New Harlem. No. Who's it by? Got two, excuse me. Clearly I've run out of steam, like. Got 2 bottles of Captain Molyneux for $10 on auction this week. Can't go wrong, I think, says Tripler. Surge, says Fosco. Yes, is Surge. What am I looking forward to wearing? What am I looking forward to wearing? Essentia by Loewe, Homme de Grey, Roadster, I might wear Infusion Dome. Ooh, do not spill. I think I'm just going to give away me fucking me 10ml of me 10ml of Grand Soir. It's so shit. It's mid as fuck. Also landed a Grey Monsieur. I've got a Grey Monsieur coming as well. I have a bit of a vintage haul arriving next week. Me and a man from France have been plotting this for about 2 months. So Infusion Dom is Neroli de Tunisie, Iris pallida, Bois de Cedre, Vetiver, Encens de Somali, and Benzoin de Laos. I've got a 50ml. I now have a larger bottle. Well, a larger partial anyway, for £47 coming in. Oh, it's being delivered by fucking Hermes. That's not very good. Grand Soir's a good buttery amber, no development though. I just don't think it's good. I just do not think it's good at all. In fact, I think it's bad. I say Ryuichi Sakamoto died today. He wrote Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. That's sad. I wouldn't care. I've been listening to that song for about fucking 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. You know, when a song just comes back into your head, and then the fucker went and died today. RXL, welcome. Centre of the day is Issey Miyake, Wood and Wood. Wood and Wood. So good they named it twice. I don't think I've smelled that. Issey Miyake, just fucking hell. They released a lot of fragrances. Is that the L'Eau de Say line? Or is it like a completely different line? He died recently as well, didn't he, Issey Miyake? I really like the original. L'Eau de Say. Still, I mean, fantastic fragrance. Like Aqua di Gio before Aqua di Gio. Galen. Oh, scent of the day is Invasion Barbar. Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. Haven't heard anyone mention it in decades. Fucking great song. There's loads of really good live performances of it on eBay as well. Micah, welcome to you. Scent of the day is Desandre. Amber Roos is top tier in my opinion. Excuse me. Oh, God. So, Amber Roos, right? There was a vintage bottle of that popped up on eBay as well, and I bid on it, and some fucker, like, the bidding went insane in the last 10 seconds. You know, like, sometimes you'll be waiting for the bidding to go mad on something in the last 10 seconds and it just doesn't develop. And then sometimes you're not expecting it and it goes mad. And that's what happens. It just got away from us. I was bidding like 75, 80 quid and it ended up going for like 130. And this all happened in the last 10 seconds. I was like, what? You can fucking keep it for that? But then on reflection, I wouldn't have minded smelling the vintage, so bah. Grand Soir is amber, sheer and smoothened. It's definitely Coeur de Jean. It definitely smells like a Coeur de Jean. I just don't think it's very good. This is good. Infusion Dome, which became Infusion d'Iris or Iris Cedar. L'Eau de Say, this may surprise you, but it smells like wood. Well, I'm fucking... That is... I mean, I'm fucking... well, obviously I'm speechless. Which woods, though? Or just wood? Wood and wood. Could have just called it wood. Like, wood and wood would indicate that there's more than one wood. Would you have Adam and Eve it? My mother's coughing like fuck downstairs. Why didn't you enter a max bid? I did. I did. I just didn't think it would go up to that. I just didn't think it would go up to that. My max bid was like 75 quid and I was winning. And then it just went to like fucking, it just took off. I just got away from us and I thought, oh, fuck. Worst part of bidding is the last 10 seconds, says Mike. Oh, it's terrifying. Horrific. If Tom Ford re-releases it again, I'll re-up, says Frank. What on? Amber Absolute. I've got a bottle of Amber Absolute. Thanks to Peter in the chat. So thank you, Peter, in the chat. Glansoir, you don't tout yet. You wore a lot of it last year. I don't like it. That's why I don't tout. I don't think it's very good. What are your old school fragrances that people may be surprised to know you actually don't like, Rich? What are some old school fragrances that people may be surprised to know you actually don't like, Rich, says Justin the Czar. Well, there are plenty, none of which I can remember at this precise moment. Let me go to my eBay and see what I've been selling. Oh. Coros Fraser. Don't like Coros Fraser. Van Cleef & Arpels Pour On. Fucking... I don't know how I feel about this Missoni Uomo. Jacques Bogart Furio. Shalimar. Midnight in Paris. Egoist, what? Habit Rouge. Pour Monsieur EDT by Chanel. Lapidus Pour Homme, the original with a red cap. Barocco. Portos. Didn't really like Portos. Yes, there are some pretty famous fucking fragrances that you would think I'd like, but I don't. I used to use a sniping app. Sorry, eBay, says Frank. Do you hate Portos, or is it just not for you? I don't hate it, but I don't like it. I have a late 80s Oleg Cassini for men on the way. Me too, Keith. Love the bottle design. Real duck fans know. Yes. Still souring on Coros. I'm souring on the bottles that I've got out. I'm just going to give them to Richie G. Yeah, I'm just going to give them ones to Richie G. He was trying to deny us the other day. I actually went to meet him last Friday and I totally forgot to fucking take them, didn't I? Like a wally. Also, I injured myself last Friday. Got something up my thumbnail bed. Literal torture. Had to have a tetanus injection and was on antibiotics over the weekend. Bonkers. They had to do a little bit of surgery to remove it. And I do mean a little bit of surgery. You're getting rid of all your Coros? No, Justin. No, I'm not. Those sniping bid apps really work well. We'll bid for you. With 2 seconds left. Well, you can do that yourself if you want. I mean, they're illegal now, though, aren't they? I think eBay lobbied for them to be made illegal, and illegal they were made. I'm not getting rid of all my Coros at all. I've got 3 partial 50 mils And I reckon that they've soured, and I want to crack into a new one. I want to open a new bottle, you know, a new old bottle, a vintage bottle. Oh, excuse me. So no, sorry to get you excited, but no, I am not getting rid of all my Kuros. Man, I love Portos. I thought it was boring at first. Now it makes my knees weak. It's so good. I managed to get mine to Ramsey thanks to Mr. Hansen. So all's well that ends well. I don't think I'll ever need a backup of Chorus now that I have the Parfums core bottle. I've got about 3. I've got Sanofi. I'm thinking of selling the Sanofi ones actually and just going back to the fucking Parfums core and then whittling my way back to the Charles of the Ritz. Not sure I'll ever get through it all, to be honest. You can still use sniper apps. No, you cannot nearly be as efficient as a bot. No, well, I'm not saying you can be as efficient as a bot. I'm saying you can do that. You should try Oscar for Men, Duck. So bitter and unique. I've got a vintage... I've got a vintage Eau Sauvage, which is bitter as all fuck. Like biting into a bergamot. I don't know if you've ever eaten bergamot, but it's not pleasant. It's incredibly bitter. Like too bitter. Like so sour, it's unbelievable. And the Eau Sauvage has got that fresh, zingy, zesty bitterness. And I think I'm going to whip that out, actually. Frank says, I have the Gucci from 2002. Happy with it. Yeah, these 3 that I'm going to get rid of to Richie G are all Gucci as well. I might break into a Sanofi bottle. If that doesn't tickle me fancy, I'll break into a Parfums core. I will keep you all abreast of what I do. I have 6 bottles of Chorus, 1 new and 5 vintage, 2 Parfums code, 2 Gucci PPR. My mini is Charles of the Ritz. Ah, fuck knows how many fucking Chorus's I've got. I've got about 8. I've got like 3 Sanofi, 2 or 3 fucking... Maybe more Sanofi. I've got Gucci, Sanofi, Parfums core, and I've got 1 Charles of the Ritz as well. Not a fan of Rogues. I've tried up until this week. Got a 30ml of tobacco, very nice. Green champagne, honey, tobacco, old school but contemporary. I don't know. Oh my god, the fucking numbers are jumping around like fuck. It's doing me tits in. It's saying I've got like 28 and then 36 and then 33 and then fucking 40 and I don't like it. Just be calm. Be calm. You know? So yes, I have a 2020 Chorus neutered, but the spirit is alive. How do you like ombre leather versus Tuscan leather? I have ombre leather and I love it, but I want to try Tuscan. I'm surprised I haven't tried Tuscan. Tuscan leather is dead. The reformulations are a travesty. Ombre leather is stronger than Tuscan leather now. You know, there's no point in buying Tuscan leather except for the bottle. If that's what you're into, you might as well get ombre leather. But I've got my 2 older bottles of Tuscan leather, including a 2013 bottle which I bought off Peter from Fragrance View, and they are very much alive. But the latest formulation's absolute dross. It's dross. You know what I mean? I like my bottle though. I like my bottle of Tuscan leather. I like my bottle of ombre leather, which I rarely wear, which I should do. I sprayed it on one of my friends once, a lady, and she was like, "Ooh, that's very aftershavey. It's very man." Ombre leather is black leather. Tuscan is old brown leather. New bottles are awful. Say, Tuscan is never old brown leather, or what it shouldn't have been. It should be fucking. That should be like ultra chic. Tuscan leather should be ultra chic, black leather, car leather kind of thing. Get La Yucca Wham, that was highly regarded during Tuscan leather's heyday. My mate Richie G's got a bottle of La Yucca Wham. It's more Tuscan leather than Tuscan leather is now. Shocking state of affairs. Okay then, I'm going to go. How time flies. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I appreciate your likes. I appreciate your comments, your subscription. And I will see you all again soon. Goodbye, everyone.